In this video, I'm going to take you through my 4 key takeaways from the ACCA SBL pre-seen information for the March 2026 exam sitting for the company Merceh Co. If you'd like access to my exclusive SBL notes you can see above me to help your revision, just click the link in the description below and you can download a copy yourself. I'm also delighted to say I'm associated and affiliated with Astranti. They offer mock examination papers, also pre-seen analysis packs, all based on Merceh Co, the pre-seen information for March 2026. And if you click the links down below, you can check those out. And for pure transparency, as always on the channel, if you were to purchase anything, I'd be entitled to a small percentage, which goes to supporting the channel and the content. And as always, a massive thank you for all your support. Leave me any comments and I will get back to you if you have any questions about the SBL exam and what you thought of the SBL pre-seen information. But my first key takeaway for your notes is how Merceh Co are actually performing. Now, it sounds pretty standard, but we've got to go straight down to page 10 because we're given some nice diagrams on there that are really going to set the scene, especially if this may be one of your first videos that you've actually watched based on the pre-seen materials. So the key things for you to get down are that we are given financial and non-financial information you can see on the right-hand side. The revenue has been flatlining, as you can see from the top left-hand side diagram. But the key thing here, you'll see in my notes if you've downloaded them yourself, we're not actually given many figures per se, but there are some that we can actually work out. Now, where I've got my mouse down here on the bottom right-hand side, you can see Merceh Co's operating profit margin in 2005 was 27%. So I've gone to that, well, if I know that the operating profit in 2005 is about $175 million, and that the operating profit margin was 27%, if I divide the two, that is where I can actually get the revenue figure that is actually in the diagram up here on the left-hand side. Again, I've put my mouse on there to be $648 million on there. So again, some more specific figures for you to look at. And then from that, I've said, well, if I know the revenue in 2005 now, the actual figure, you can see on my notes on here, well, we're given 8,000 million, or in other words, 8 billion on page 2. And this is where I will show you on here, because it's quite important that you follow it through. So go up to page 2 on your notes. That 8,000 million represents the actual share value of the market. So the market share of what we're looking at in Darland. And this is where, again, I'll put my mouse on it so you can see it on here. The total market size in Darland is about 8,000 million in revenue terms. So in other words, 8,000 million is equal to 8 billion. So don't get that confused. And what we've done there is we've worked out the revenue coming back down to the bottom now, which for the same period, 2005, we've got it as 648 million on there, and therefore I've just done 648 divided by the 8,000 million, times it by 100, and that gives me 8.1% market share that we actually have for Merceh Co. So again, a little calculation that will definitely help you out. The other sort of standout things on here, revenue from publications has slightly dropped off, but the revenue from advertising has been increasing on there. So key things for you to actually get down in your notes on there. They also link into pages 6 and 7, those diagrams, financial and non-financial, with the KPI. So we've got revenue, revenue growth, the actual split on there between the magazine and the advertising revenue. We're not given specific figures, but again, this is where you've got to be thinking on your feet when it comes to the exam. And like we said up at the top here on page 2, that we are actually told, and that's why my 8.1%, I kind of go, that looks pretty reasonable to me. Well, what we're told here is that in Darland, the 5 biggest publishers of magazines in Darland have around half of the market in Darland in terms of revenue. And this is where we are told that Merceh Co is one of the big 5. So if the big 5 are worth about 50% of the market share, 8.1% does sound pretty reasonable there. So that is why how Merceh Co are performing is definitely my key takeaway, number 1, along with those little calculations that you might have overlooked. But again, if you download the notes, you can follow it through yourself. Key takeaway number 2 now, how Merceh Co are operating on there. And this is where we've got to go back down into the notes. We're going on to page 8 now. Key thing to get your head around is actually in, and I'll put it on the screen there on the right hand side, the paper, printing and distribution. So this is where we've got an option in this industry of magazines where you can actually print and actually distribute the magazines yourself, or as we're actually told within the first paragraph for paper and printing, Merceh does its printing in-house, unlike most publishers in Darland which outsource their printing. That's why I've got it linked into could be a weakness or an opportunity for a SWOT analysis point. Distribution-wise, as you can see on there as well, they have their own distribution hub on there, so any magazines they actually send out themselves. They use the postal service and they deliver magazines directly to retailers. So again, that is a big fixed cost for you to consider in how you portray to the market how the company is operating. Do not overlook it, and the fact that competitors, which we're not told any of their names, actually tend to outsource, especially their printing. So again, something that you could put in points about the strategy. Now, the next key thing about how Merceh Co are operating is on page 7, and I'll just pull it back up on here in terms of the governance. So you can see on the left hand side, we are told there are 12 directors, 6 of them are executive directors and 6 of them are non-executive directors. They are compliant on there with Darland's corporate governance code, and all NEDs are fulfilling the definition of an independent, shall I say, given in the code. So this is where we're given on page 8 the breakdown of all of those 12 individuals, and they also have a risk committee which is not required by the code. So in other words, how they're operating as a board, as a business on there, very good points if a leadership point came up on your exam. The final thing that I thought was a bit interesting that I had to get down, again, is on page 8, and I'll put my mouse on it on the right-hand side, are the actual divisions that we have in terms of the organisation that, in simple terms, when they actually produce these magazines, what sort of areas are they actually making the magazines about? Well, on the left-hand side, I'll put my mouse on it on here, the first magazine's covering home and lifestyle subjects on there. So again, home, lifestyle, couple of the areas that some of the magazines are covering for it. But then on the right-hand side on page 8, in terms of the organisation, we're told Merceh Co is organised into 8 divisions, reflecting the content of the magazines. These include sport, lifestyle and computers. Each division has one main office and some have a few smaller offices. So again, it comes across that each division has its own office, and therefore I kind of get the gist that each division is its own topic area. So we're told sport, lifestyle, computers. Home is also mentioned on page 7, but then the key thing is if you go up to page number 2 now and have a look on the products, when I was just having a little look through on here, again, just coming back up to it on here, we're told some of the areas from the wider market in the products, and this is where leisure activities and interests include home, lifestyle, sports, hobbies, computers, motoring, transport, music, film, television programs, and celebrity news. So that is 11 key areas, whereas we're only told that Merceh Co produce magazines on 8. So again, another opportunity maybe to produce more, but I thought it was definitely a key takeaway as to how they're operating, the different divisions they've got set up, and then also that we have the head office based in the north, in the capital city, and the distribution centre is in the centre of Darland. Again, logistically, how it all sort of works, and the amount of topic areas that we're given 11, and we're told that Merceh Co are operating in 8. So that is why key takeaway number 2 is how Merceh Co are operating. Key takeaway number 3 now, coming down to page 6, and this is all about standout SBL topics, where you kind of just go to yourself, it's a whole page. We've got to get it down as a key takeaway that maybe someone's watching this the night before the exam and you're going to yourself, there's a whole risk register on there with a variety of different areas from cybersecurity, legal, key persons, and that's where you kind of think about maybe the Tara model. I'd get down in your notes. In other words, all those different potential risks on there have a impact and probability. So we might actually have to do a question or maybe about, do we reduce the risk, avoid the risk, accept the risk, or transfer it on there? So again, little things like that. I went to myself, that's got to go down for it. On the left-hand side, we also have a variety of different internal and external stakeholders. Classic SBL areas that the examiner will want you to apply those stakeholders, maybe linking it into a SWOT or a pestle analysis on there, or Porter's, one of those, but it would rely on getting more information on the exam day in the requirements. But those key significant stakeholders really spread themselves throughout the whole pre-scene information to apply those. But it's just making sure you have in your mind the different types of stakeholders they've referred to, and are they internal or external. You'll also see on there the industry body, and that's the magazine regulator, the Newspaper and Magazine Standards Authority. Classic area involving ethics and governance when we're told about a regulator. And really, when I was thinking about this, I went down to the mission and values that you can see on page 7 there on the left hand side. And this is where especially that we're told that they actually have an ethical code. They've referred to integrity and honest content creation. So one of ACCA's code of ethics has been brought up on there. So you think to yourself, we've actually have a little governance section. They've been saying that the company's all very good and they've got a ethical code, and you kind of think, well, something has got to go wrong on the exam day, and we could refer back to those values and the mission and the governance in place. So again, had to go down on there with my final one for a classic SBL topic down on page 9 in terms of the website extracts. We've been told CSR statements on there, so corporate social responsibility. Potentially, you've got areas of sustainability, the environment, because it's a magazine, they use paper. It's very topical, and trying to get more people to actually have digital downloads is going to be better for the environment. And if you go up to page 7, there's just a little line on page 7. If I pull it on here for the actual paper, if I get it right, here we go. For the paper and printing, sorry, it's on page 8 on there. You can see on the right hand side, I'll put my mouse on it. There you go, sustainable sources. So Merceh sources paper from several paper suppliers and states publicly that its paper supplies obtain their raw material supplies from sustainable sources. And you kind of go to yourself, is that actually happening? They also state it publicly as well, and you kind of go, uh-oh, what if they're not actually supplying it from these sustainable sources and you're shouting about it? Again, plenty of things, and that's why it had to go down as a sort of standout SBL topic area, and for my key takeaway number 3. Now, key takeaway number 4 for your notes is, I love this one, what are we not told about on here? Because I don't know if you read it through yourself, but when you go through, you kind of go, there's a lot of things that it would be helpful if we were told a bit more. Page 2 on the right hand side. First one, I'm pretty sure you'll have picked up on this, is that Merceh is one of the 5 biggest publishers of magazines in the country of Darland on there. At no point in the pre-scene materials are we told who any of the other biggest publishers actually are on there, first of all. So that isn't ideal in terms of a sort of competitor analysis. And that's why I think on the exam day, finding out about maybe one or some of the main competitors, because then we could also link that into, and it's also worth mentioning, that we're not told any of the financial or non-financial information of any of those competitors as well. Whether it's about the energy consumed, the printed based edition sales on there, advertising, their operating profit, all these different things. And especially when we're given an operating profit margin, maybe we might have to calculate that on the exam day for a competitor. Thought it was worth a shout on there. Page 8 is the next one, where if you look at the board of directors on the right hand side, it's great. We've got the chair, chief executive officer, but what we're not told is a single name for any of them. We're not told about any of their roles or who's accountable for what area. And it's also worth noting, it's not really been told as to who's in charge of sustainability. So again, that would be definitely down in my notes, especially if they throw a couple of names at you on the exam day. In terms of page 6 now, I was thinking about this in terms of actual Darland, and we're told only one line about the poor economic conditions. And I kind of went to myself, we're not really told much about Darlands, apart from reduction in the reader spending on magazines, so disposable income has been decreasing. And in terms of foreign currency, we were told about Darlands' exchange rate maybe fluctuating on there, or maybe making losses or adverse movements on the currency. So again, not really told about what's going on in terms of the environment and the economy of Darlands. So again, something else that you could put down as looking at, it would be helpful to have more information on this, or it could come up on the exam day. One other thing that I got down in my notes down here, page 7 on there, they rave about it in terms of their actual values. Be careful on here, because I've highlighted them in blue, especially if you're being specific on the exam day, stating about a mission statement versus a value statement. It says here, Merceh has an ethical code. Brilliant. It contains broad principles. Doesn't sound very robust, but where is the ethical code? Maybe we could get that on the exam day. Also worth noting, not provided. And then pages 6 and 7, coming on to the KPIs. Just have a look at some of these in terms of the split of revenue between the magazine and the advertising revenue. We're given the diagrams below, but nothing too specific on there. We've got the earnings per share. You can see on page 7, no information on that. Free cash flows, and again, not really told anything on that. So there's plenty of information, especially financial and non-financial. We're told about staff turnover is a KPI. Nothing to do with that provided. So again, little things that I'd be thinking about, that when you click that go button on the exam day for your SBL exam, there's plenty of stuff that they could throw at you that they haven't provided, and it will show up a student who has really understood the pre-seen materials and someone who hasn't. Well, that takes you through my 4 key takeaways. I hope you've enjoyed the video, so be sure to like and subscribe for more videos on my channel. And if you'd like access to my exclusive notes, click the link down in the description or in my bio, and you can have a copy yourself. It's also worth noting in this video, these are not the completely completed SBL notes. I'm working on them and just doing the last final tweaks on it tonight, so you will be able to download them on Thursday on there. Check out the Astranti courses as well. Absolutely no-brainer to get a couple of mock exams. That is going to be the difference in getting you the 50+. And what I'll do is I'll leave another video up at the top now to help you along with your SBL revision for March 2026. So thank you very much, and I'll see you on the other side. Thank you.